Hello future people, welcome to Getting Tabled. I'm Jason the Bruce, and welcome to the last episode of Prepare for Conquest for October. In this episode, we're going to be covering how I intend to continue the series going forward and what format that's going to be, and how I found my experience with the game so far.
You can arrange your brushes, prepare your clippers and your knives, but sometimes no matter how many tools or paints you have, it's not enough if the dice are not on your side. Sometimes you only have one choice, and that choice is to prepare for conquest.
Okay, so first and foremost, why is there a question as to whether this would have continued or not? Well, Conquest was my project for October. In the back of my head, I've always kind of intended for this to continue. But until I'd been through the month, I didn't really know how I was going to do that yet. I didn't know how much of the content I would get through. I work full-time. I don't do this full-time. So keeping up the almost every day of the month releases is not something I can continue forever. I can't afford to buy that many boxes all the time. And B, it is what it is. Plus, there's other things that I'm going to do as well. But, Prepare for Conquest is going to continue. First and foremost, unfortunately, the area of Melbourne where I lived had a massive power outage last week. And as a result of that, my fridge died. And because I was dealing with that, then I was trying to fix my fridge. So the time that I had set aside to film the painting tutorial got kind of ruined. So that is still coming. All of the pre-work has been finished. It's just the actual filming and editing that needs to be done now. This particular one is going to be concentrating on a pale green skin. Something that hopefully is fairly unique. I haven't seen a lot of people do. It's not quite albino, but it's kind of going in that direction that I've seen. I'm trying to avoid just doing the same thing that everybody else does. Moving forward, I'm going to try and settle on a specific day of the week for those releases, and I will just continue on in the series and the numbers. Some of those will be concentrating on rules. Some of those will be concentrating on painting. Some of those will be general hobby or discussions and just talking about the game itself. But moving forward, you will be seeing more than just Conquest for me. Nevertheless, you will continue seeing regular content, and I will not spam the Conquest groups with content that is not relevant towards it. That is a promise that I put towards any group that we're ever involved in. I will never post in your groups unless it's relevant to the groups. How have I found my month with Conquest? First and foremost, the communities have all been very, 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 very welcoming. I have had a couple of questions that were very newbie questions because obviously the game was new to me, and the group jumped on board and helped me with those very, very quickly. Some of which helped me with videos that I was presenting, some of which were just for me. There's been a couple of other creators that reached out and left comments as well. I very, very much appreciate those. The one video I haven't gotten a chance to do yet is my taking the full army and building that video, which just because of it's just something I didn't get a chance to do. But that is still coming as well. That's probably the video that you'll get this week. Given that I'm giving feedback, not all of it can be positive. And this is, I'm just nitpicking here. Because I have loved my time in Conquest. The negative, of course, is that I haven't played it yet. Because I couldn't, obviously. But the only thing I would say is that the instructions that come with some of the kits are very bare bones. That's by design. I would probably they lead you through the building of one model and then kind of leave you to your own devices to make the decisions with the rest of them, which is all well and good for people like myself and I assume a lot of you that have been in this hobby for a while. We know enough about this hobby to know how the rest of it works, but people that are new to the hobby might struggle with that a little bit. That's probably the only thing that I kind of looked at and went, this could be an issue. I, during my time, had a couple of things that I opened and was incomplete. Both of those things got answered very, very quickly. My stuff for the Matriarch Queen arrived, and I did mention that in a previous video. I'm still waiting on the cards from my Army Support Pack, though. They are not here yet, and I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. I assume that it's just delayed by Australia Post. I thought they were all supposed to be together, but I don't know. I have reached out to Parabellum, and I reached out on the weekend. They haven't had a chance to respond yet, which I'm sure they will, and that's fine. Otherwise, honestly, as far as the negative stuff is concerned, and even that, that's all very, very minor stuff. For anybody that's new to the hobby, things being mispacked is just something that happens in every industry. It's not whether it happens or not that's the issue. It's how the response comes through, and the response I got was phenomenal. I was quite surprised that my Matriarch stuff arrived as soon as it did. I had a package that was coming from Sydney that was on hold for 4 weeks before it got here. I ordered that the day after I ordered my original Conquest stuff. My Matriarch Queen missing piece arrived in half of that time. That was coming from Greece. My missing package was coming from Sydney. Long story short, I very much appreciate everybody that's been following the content. November is going to be a little bit more mixed. There's definitely going to be some Conquest stuff coming. Some of it will be rules-wise. As I said, I still need to do my full army for what I own. The intention is everything that I've brought so far, let's see what I can build from it on the rules and then present that. I already know one of the things that's going into that army, and that's a suggestion that came from the comments for a user that I will credit on the video when I make it. The full thing, I'm gonna do that as I have the others. I'm trying as hard as I can not to research my decisions before I make them on the video, because I'm trying to make that part of the feel of it as someone that's doing this for the first time. And I'd rather that be natural and not, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, but this is secretly what I've planned all along. Ultimately, I hope to be able to get a game in and then give feedback on how that actually went in person. But that's probably not going to happen for at least a month at this stage. The other video that I already have planned is a next purchases. Otherwise, completely irrelevant to Conquest, but there will be some content coming for Armada, as in Kings of War Armada, next month as well. No rule stuff, just purely unboxings and maybe a little bit of hobby. Probably more so presenting the hobby that I've done as opposed to doing it on camera though. That's the other game that I had purchased at the same time as this one that didn't arrive until 4 weeks later. I'd love to hear from you guys. The feedback that I've been getting from you guys on this has been really good. I want to get a feedback from you guys as to what you want to see. I would assume, given that you've already heard that this will be my first painting tutorial, that you'll want to see that before you decide whether you want more of it or not. But in theory, what would you like to see? That's what I want to know. If you're interested in getting into Conquest or expanding your existing force, either use the QR code on screen or the link in the description to open the Parabellum website, and when you're asked if you have a discount voucher, enter Getting Tabled without spaces, just like you see on your screen, to receive 10% off your order. In doing so, not only will you save money, but you also help support our channel without any cost to you. Thank you very much to anyone who chooses to do that. It's greatly appreciated. You're helping us improve our content and bring more content to you. Thank you very much for checking out this video. If you're enjoying the content of this channel, please like and subscribe. If you're in a position to do so, please check out patreon.com/gettingtabled. You receive early access to at least 80% of all videos that we put out, and you get access to the video edition of all of our podcasts the day that they're uploaded. If you'd like to check us out on social media, Facebook.com/gettingtabled is the most active. We also have a Discord server. You can email our team at gettingtabled@gmail.com. If you're on either Twitter or Instagram, you can find us at gettingtabled. And until next time, play more games.